Hi, welcome to the Coffee Hour, a show that involves you in verbal interaction. Sports with Brian Camp. So settle in with coffee in hand and enjoy the Coffee Hour. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Good morning, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday, and we welcome you aboard once again. We're at another portion of the show, and this show is called the Coffee Hour. We thank you so much for being along with us, and we're going to be here for a whole full hour. We're here every Friday at this time. We're coming to you live from New York City. That's where we originate, and so we're on the Eastern Standard Time Zone. And we'd like to invite each and every one of you guys in now. A lot of you guys have been around for so many years with us, and we really appreciate that. We're so grateful. We may have some new people coming in today, so we want to explain what the show is all about. Let's get started with it, because I always start out this way by introducing the show, getting it started, throwing out conversation. And while that's going on, you can chime in right now, because you can talk live to us and be in the room with us like everyone else. And all you have to do is let your fingers do the walking on your keyboard, the keyboard of your computer, of your pad, your iPad, and your tablet, and your telephone, everything, laptops, everything. If you can find us on there, then you got the show going on. And all you have to do is just type in whatever you want to talk about. I will see you and acknowledge you right there on the big screen, and we'll answer your questions if you have. And if you have anything in particular you want to talk about, the news of the day, whatever it is, any kind of conversation, because we talk about a little bit of everything. That's why we get you involved in the show, because we want you part of it too. All you have to do is let us know what it is, and we will entertain it as much as we can. And of course, those of you who are new, you ought to know too, who come from 3 different places. We're on Facebook Live, or on YouTube as well, and Instagram. So I want to say hi to each and every one of you, wherever you are listening or however you are watching and viewing. We want to say hello and a happy Friday to each and every one of you. Now, those of you who are watching us on Facebook, what I want you to do is take time right now while we're getting started and tag all of your friends. If not all of your friends, some of your friends, because I know you have an abundance of friends on your account, and maybe you have a selective few. And if you can't, of course, get them all in at once. Try each week to get new ones in. We appreciate every bit of help that we can get, because we are always satisfied and we want more people coming in. We want everybody to be comfortable and join us. And if they like what they see and like what they hear, of course, maybe they'll come back again and again and be full-fledged members just like you. So do that right now. Tag them all and let them in. Give them part of the action as well. Those of you who are watching us on YouTube, we always encourage you to go onto our YouTube page. If you're there right now, take the time and subscribe to us. How do you subscribe to YouTube? My YouTube channel. All you have to do is drag your mouse. Take your mouse, drag it over to where it says subscribe right there. Click onto it, and that's all it takes. No effort, effortless. And all you have to do is do that. And just so you'll know, you don't have to be charged for it. There's no charge, no money involved for it. It's absolutely free. Everything we do here is free. We never ask for money of any kind. So that's the beautiful part about that. Everything is free here, and the entertainment and everything. So don't worry about that. But the benefit of cashing in on that and being part of us and subscribing to the YouTube channel is that it'll give you a chance to know that whenever we come on live, you'll always get that notification. Because a lot of times you may be out there online doing something and you forget about the show or forget about what time the show comes on. We give you instant notification. Also, when we post a video of some sort, right, you get notification as well. And all you have to do is, when you click onto that notification, it'll bring you right to the YouTube channel, and you don't have to miss a show at all. So we're so glad that you're able to do that. So do that right now. Be part of us each week, and just subscribe to my YouTube channel. For those of you who are watching us on Instagram, don't worry about it. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is to just keep reminding people that we're out here, and they could be just like you. They can come on Instagram, if so desire, or YouTube, or or Facebook, either one of them, you can catch us on because we're on 3 different places. And no matter where you are around the world, I don't care where you go around the world, as long as there's Wi-Fi available, you can catch us right here. All right. If your Wi-Fi is good wherever you are, you can catch us right here all around the world. People all around the world, all around the country, they come to visit us and talk to us. And we're so grateful for that. So you shouldn't be any different. So we thank you so much for being along with us. On the show today, we've got a few things going on. Of course, as usual, we have sports update. Now we're going to be juggling a few things around today because Brian Camp is not going to make it until maybe about 25 or 30 past the hour. So we're going to be juggling the show around a little bit. And but he'll be here with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And if you so happen to have any questions that are sports related, and when Brian comes on live, you'll get a chance to talk to him. You could ask him yourself. Now, he's coming on live. We'll get a chance. We'll link up with him. He's coming out of Charlotte, North Carolina. So we're going to link up with him. You'll get a chance to see him and meet him if you're watching us on Facebook and YouTube. But if you're watching us on Instagram, you won't get that luxury. We don't have that luxury, but you'll be able to hear his voice and you still be able to ask questions if you so desire. And you'll still be able to type whatever you want to talk about. We'll see you right there on the big screen as well. You're no different. It's just that you won't be able to see him. But then that's okay, right? But as long as you're out there, however you're watching us, it's great. So we thank you so much for being along with us. And of course, later on in the program too, we also have movies of the week. At the tail end of the program, we're going to give you that. We have picks of the week. My picks are always every week. I bring that to you every week. I find picks from Turner Classic Movies because I love those classic movies, and I know you do too. So we have our picks of the week from Turner Classic Movies. And that's only to add to your bucket list of what to watch this weekend, because a lot of you are movie buffs and a lot of you may want to catch up on movies this weekend because that's what the weekend is all about, to do whatever you want to do. Should you have the luxury not to be at work or working on the weekend and you're home, and please, we have those for you. So we'll get that to you later on in the program. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you so much for being along with us. Remember that all of the views and the opinions expressed on this show, The Coffee Hour, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Zoom, or any other social media outlet or broadcast publication. So that being said, let's do what we always do. Let's raise our cups, our glasses, or whatever beverages that you have to use this morning. And let's salute. And excuse me again while I shoot up, because what would the coffee hour be without a little coffee? Oh boy, certainly hits the spot, that's for sure. And it doesn't have to be coffee. It could be tea, it could be cocoa, whatever you're liking. But we're glad that you're joining us. And there's just so many things to talk about. Remember, all of you guys who are watching us on Facebook, do that right now. Tag all of your friends and let them know that we're out here and we got the show started. So since we're in session right now, class is in session. Class is in session right now. And the holidays are here. We're in the midst of the holidays. Now, right now, we're in the midst of the Hanukkah season. All right, here we are. And by the way, it's the 9th day of Hanukkah. It's not Hanukkah, 9 days of Hanukkah, and this is the 9th and final day of Hanukkah. So you light our candles, good food, good company. And so this is it. So we just want to mention that. So happy Hanukkah to all of you who are celebrating. And we've got other things coming up. Christmas time is coming up. We've got 10 days before that. You got those shopping days ahead of you. So you can get it out of the way. If you're not one of those kind of people who like to shop early in July when they have Christmas in July, then this is the time for you to get out and shop. You want to catch as many good bargains as you can, provided you can find them anywhere. But it's usually after the holidays when the bargains come around. But, you want to get the shopping done. If you haven't got it done yet, you have 10 days left. So get it out of the way as quick as possible. You don't want to wind up in the store where people will be fighting over the gifts because they're going like hotcakes. And those of you who are looking for that PlayStation that you couldn't find, that you had to order online and you have to pick it up. Today you have to pick it up. Fine, just in time for Christmas, a lot of things. So gift giving is part of the action on Christmas. And along with Christmas, the day after Christmas, we're going to be celebrating Kwanzaa. That's 7 days of Kwanzaa, lighting candles, having good food and good company and family. That's what it's all about. It's just like Hanukkah. So that's coming around. So we look forward to all of that, and then the New Year's is coming around. And just to think, just like I said, 10 days before Christmas, it really bewilders me how fast the time goes. And Christmas is right around the corner. Usually, you feel the effects of Christmas. You feel it. For some reason, I don't feel it just yet. I probably will later because it catches up with you unexpectedly sometimes. And you look at the calendar, you say, wow, it's December already, And then when we go through Christmas, then you got the New Year's coming up, which everyone is looking to. If you're making those New Year's resolutions, some of you do and some of you stick to them, others don't, but that's a personal choice right there. So the holidays coming in, when we get to the light of the end of the tunnel, when New Year's come around, then we look forward to the summer, but we don't want to speed up things too fast. Let's enjoy the moment right now of what's happening and what's about to happen. And of course, everything is going to be fine. So we thank you again for being with us. Now, those of you who are going to indulge in conversation, and we would love for you to do that. Now, a lot of you may be at work right now, and you may be on your coffee break. This could be the time when you have your coffee break. And what we want you to do is enjoy your coffee break. But what you can do is sit at your desk, right? And enjoy your coffee break and watch the show at the same time, as opposed to mingling with the co-workers. You got plenty of time to do that, right? Sit back and watch the show for an hour. And then when the coffee break is over, what do you get? About 15 minutes of coffee break. When the coffee break is over, then you're still at your desk. Then you can go back to work and do what they call multitasking, right? You work and you watch the show at the same time. That's always fun, right? Okay, we thank you again for being along with us, and keep reminding your friends and family that we're on the air, and bring them along with us. Did you guys on Facebook, did you tag your friends yet? Did you tag them? I hope that you did. And so they can get along with us, because again, if they like what they see, if they like what they hear, of course, they'll be back again and again. Now, I was getting ready to say too, that if you're going to join in conversation, we would love to have you join. We will acknowledge you. Some don't. And they just like to sit back and relax the show. But if you're going to indulge in conversation, we want to ask you to do us a favor. Since it's Friday, we want to see what your weather is about. Give us a small summary. It doesn't have to be a full-blown weather forecast. Give us some kind of idea on what your weather is going to be like today and for the rest of the weekend. And because I like to compare notes with the weather that we're having here to the weather that you're having someplace around the nation and around the world. But those of you who live in the New York and the vicinity of New York City, don't worry about it. You bit the bullet. All right? Because I will take care of that for you. I have the weather forecast, and I'm going to take care of that for you. And so you stand by for that. But for the rest of you, you come in and give us your weather forecast. We would really love to hear from you. I want to remind you too, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm kind of like a health nut, and if for some reason when you get older you become a health nut. I don't know why. I guess I do know why, because you want to live longer, you want to extend your life, right? Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that the vaccine of the COVID-19 vaccine, the updated version is available now. Now, I'm not going to talk about the flu shots because I already know that you guys did that already, right? Because we're now in the flu season, and it's still available if you haven't done it yet, so you go out and get it. But we're going to put more emphasis on the COVID-19 shot right now, because that's just as important. And all you have to do is go to your pharmacist, all right? Now, you can do two ways. You could go there, depending on where you live. You can go right in there and just get it that same day, depending on where you live. Some places, maybe even most places, say, no, you have to make an appointment to do that. And I'm pretty sure you can make an appointment right there on the premises as you walk in, or you can go online. They may have a website. Your pharmacists have a website, and they may tell you, okay, you can go on the website and you can make the appointment. And when you make that appointment, keep that appointment. It's very important. It should be important to you. It's important to me, so it should be important to you as well. And just in case you haven't taken your flu shots, you could take both the flu shot and the COVID shot at the same time, the same day. Oh, yes, you can. So jump on board. And for those of you who have never taken the COVID shot before, because remember, we had a lot of people that said they refused to take the shot. Well, if you've never taken that shot before and you're in good health, thank you. I'm happy for you. I am so happy for you, but it doesn't hurt. It will not hurt you. It will not put you under control of any kind of spell or anything. It will not put you underground or anything. As a matter of fact, it can only help you. It'll keep you out of the hospital, intensive care, because now COVID is no longer a death sentence. It's still here, but we found ways to fight it off. And it's just like the people, when they say fight cancer, people fight cancer. A lot of things are improving with technology the way it is. A lot of things that we have fought with over the years and lost battles with, we're winning battles now. And this is no different. So, we want to keep science moving along and help science move along and improve things so we can stay healthy and happy all year long. And so when the summer comes, you can say, hey, something, summer is here, I'm here, and I'm going to enjoy it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you so much. If you're just joining us once again, this very moment, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. And of course, you already know, as I already told you, we meet here each and every Friday morning. And we get involved in that conversation and we just have a good time. Okay, so that's what we do. And as I said, we're going to juggle things around. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the 15th of December. We're here at the 15th of December. And again, the 15th of December, that's the last day of Hanukkah. And the 15th of December is a special day for me because that's the day legendary disc jockey Allan Freed was born. On this day, back in 1921. And he was born, and he was a real legendary disc jockey. He came out of Cleveland, Ohio. And from Cleveland, Ohio, he came to New York, and he took New York by storm. So this is his birthday. So I want to dedicate this entire show to Moondog Allan Freed. And I'm going to do that by way of a guest. I have a guest coming up later on in the program too. And this is the guest. The guest that I have coming on was one of the original and regular Allan Freed dancers, because Allan Freed had a show called the Big Beat Show. The Big Beat Show used to come on TV. As a matter of fact, it used to be national. But we'll talk more about that later. But she was one of the original dancers. She's also an actress. She was in one of the Justin Timberlake's videos. And so she's going to be here with us. And we're going to have a small discussion about Allan Freed since she was there and she was one of the original dancers. It was nice. I called her up and I said, it was nice. It would be nice to have you in this small segment so we can talk about your experience and your memories about Allan Freed. Her name is Whitney Devlin. Whitney Devlin. She's going to be here later on in the program. We'll link her up and you'll get a chance to meet her too. So yes, we are celebrating the birth of Allan Freed. Allan Freed, Moondog Allan Freed. Allan Freed was one of my heroes in radio. He is the one that inspired me to get into radio. Now, I didn't know him personally, never met him. My parents did. They used to go to his rock and roll shows at the Brooklyn Paramount Theater, and they met him. They went backstage, they met him, and other people there. And here it is, my mom and dad, they meet Allan Freed, and I never met him. I was so devastated, when she came home and told me, oh, I met Allan Freed, because she was a regular Allan Fleet advocate too. So, and that kind of devastated me because here I never met, that's my hero. I never met her. But ladies and gentlemen, we have that guest coming in, so I waited, a long time for this one. So, I'm really excited about this particular show. I'm excited about all my shows when you guys come in, but I was particularly excited about this show. So she's coming along, and she's going to talk to us. I'll talk more about that later. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say hello to all of you guys who are watching again on Facebook and YouTube and all of those fabulous places that you're watching. And again, when you come in, ladies and gentlemen, you want to join in conversation, please feel free to give us your weather forecast. I want to give you mine right now because if you're in New York, as I said, you don't have to worry about it. All right, because I'm going to take care of that right now. Because, what sense would it make? You're a New Yorker. Why should you? I have it available. So don't worry about it. It's 44 degrees outside right now. That's what we have. And you know something, we had like some cool temperatures during the week, but today it's going to get a little warmer today. It's going to get a little warmer. The weekend is not going to be bad. Most of the weekend is going to be pretty good. All right. And so this is how it goes right now. Today we have abundance of sunshine. We have a high around 57 degrees. Winds will be west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tonight, if you're going out on the town, that's okay. Because it's Friday night. It's going to be clear skies. Leave the umbrella home. You don't need it. And we'll have a low around 40 degrees. Winds will be west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday looks good. Yes, Saturday looks good. I'm looking forward. We always look forward to a good Saturday. Saturday, intervals of clouds and sun. So that's not bad. No rain involved in the forecast for Saturday. So we'll have a high around 53 degrees. Winds will be light and variable for Saturday night. The clouds start to roll in now, and we'll have a low around 44, but there will be no rain, just the clouds, and winds will be east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now, Sunday is a different story, but you know something? Sunday is a day of rest. Sunday is a day where you shouldn't go out gallivanting and, kicking the town around because you already did that on Saturday night. You want to stay home and rest, watch movies, or do whatever you do quietly on a Sunday, go to church or whatever. But if you're going to go to church, we're going to get a lot of rain for Sunday. I must remind you of that, all right? Got showers early in the morning on Sunday. It's becoming steady rain late in the day. And so we'll have a high around 56 degrees. So it stays a little bit warmer. And winds will be east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain is 90%. That's almost a guarantee. And rainfall will be 1/4 of an inch. So there'll be a lot of rain. Just like last Sunday. This is like a repeat. We had good weather through the weekend until we got to Sunday. But it's just like last Sunday. We start out with light rain in the morning, then it gets heavy. But if you're like me, you want to spend the weekend at home, spend it your Saturday, your Sunday at home, and watch movies, it's a great day to do it if you have that rain. So that's our New York weather. And that's only New York. But the rest of you guys, you may have better weather coming up. I hope you do. But it's not bad on our part. Again, it's 44 degrees outdoors, and the sun is still out. And so we're doing good so far. The sun is still out, and we're doing good so far. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Brian Camp here with us. And he came in earlier than I expected. I'm happy to see him because he's going to be along with us right now. And he's got the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. So, Brian, we're glad to see you. I know that you're a busy guy, and I don't know, you got this and that going. You should be a rich man by now. I know you should be a rich man by now. Let's see if he comes there. Yeah,
I don't know about being rich, but I'm happy about what I'm at right now in life. So yeah, that's just me. Hope all is well. Good morning to you all. You see my Christmas lights? I got the lights on.
Yeah.
Ho, ho, ho. I'm not going to be a Grinch this year. No Grinch this year. I'm just going to be to go with the flow,
Well, we got enough wrenches in politics, so the rest of us should be nice.
Yes, that is so true. And I gotta say, the 401s are doing okay. I gotta say, the only time when your 401 goes down is when there's a crisis within the country or out of the country. So let's just hope that there's no interference. Let the government just be as is, so we could just do very well.
That's what I
But
say.
we all know that's not going to happen. But let's see what happens. Yes. But good morning to you all out there listening globally and viewing globally. I hope all is well. It is 43 degrees here in the state of North Carolina, and especially in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's going to go up to 57. Happy holidays to you all out there. Whatever you celebrate, I wish you a happy. And let's get with the sports, okay? The NFL awarded the 2024 regular season game to Brazil and voted to expand the slate of international games from 4 to 8. To 8. They're going to go to 8, yes. Beginning in 2025, the game in Brazil will be played in Sao Paulo at Corinthians Arena, which is the home of the Brazilian soccer club team. So congratulations to them. Also, the NFL owners awarded Super Bowl 61 in 2027 in Los Angeles, where the LA Rams play and the LA Chargers play. So they're getting another one. They had one a couple of years ago, and it'll be televised on ESPN and ABC. It'll be the first time for both cable stations and the network. As you know, ABC owns ESPN. They are the big, the big boss. So they own ESPN. So they're gonna have it in two stations on ESPN and ABC. Shohei Ohtani made a historical deal with the LA Dodgers, signing a 10-year, $700 million contract. Is allow him to opt out if the owner Mark Wader and the president of baseball operations Andrew Friedman is no longer involved. That means if they decided to leave and decided to pack up, then that means Otani could just decide to leave and opt out. Larry Doby, who was back in 1947, became the second African American to break Major League Baseball barrier, but the first in the American League, as he was given a congressional gold medal by Congress. They did this, I believe, a couple of days ago when he if he would have been alive, he would have been 100 years old. So instead, his son Larry Doby Jr. Was the one that stood in his place. And congratulations to him. I'm so happy for him. As you know, baseball barrier changes history in all sports. So congratulations. In the NBA, Draymond Green. Well, what can you say about Draymond Green? He's been suspended again. He got kicked out. He took a wicked roundhouse shot to one of the opponent's face, temporarily knocked him out. Wasn't seriously hurt, but his annex has really been the talked about. So he's been suspended indefinitely. That means until further notice. They're not giving no days, no number of game suspension. They're just gonna suspend him until they're ready to bring him back, and that's where we stand. And hate to say this, but man needs some help. So hopefully he can get it right, so he could resume his basketball career. But more importantly, to get his life straightened out. That's more important than game basketball. Gets paid, that's his job, but he needs help because he's going to hurt somebody or he might get hurt. This day in sports, December 15th, 1933, baseball owners agreed to ban Sunday doubleheaders until after June 15th. Remember back in those days where you had scheduled doubleheaders? Yeah, those were the great times where you could Sunday you come home from church, you get one, and then you get a second game. The game usually start around 1 o'clock, and then the second game starts at 4 o'clock. That was scheduled doubleheader. It wasn't no makeup doubleheader, it was a scheduled doubleheader. They don't do that anymore. 1946, New York Giants. Finch, Honk, and Hapes suspended by by the National Football League for a bribe attempt. It was a bribe attempt, and they went for it, and they got suspended. 1967, retired Major League Baseball Joe Garagiola joins the Today Show panel. 1973, Tennessee beats Temple 11-6 in a low-scoring NCAA basketball game. 11-6. How incredible was that? 11-6. That was the final. 1980, New York Yankee Dave Winfield become the highest paid player at $15 million for 10 years. 1988, Lori Davis of Long Island, New York, sues Mike Tyson for grabbing her buttocks. Mike, not supposed to do that, Mike. Not supposed to do that. Shame, shame, shame. 1992, Arthur Ashe is named the Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year. 1997, San Francisco 49ers retire legendary quarterback Joe Montana's number 16. In 2019, the Oakland Raiders played their last NFL game in Oakland at the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. That was their last game in 2019. They since moved to Las Vegas, where they scored 63 points last night. Last week, they didn't score a point. They lost 3-0. Last night, they scored 63 points. What a turnaround that was. Birthdays today. 1940, the great Nick Bonacani, NFL Hall of Famer and sportscaster, was born in Springfield, Massachusetts. 1946, Art Howe, Major League Baseball infielder and manager, was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. 1967, happy birthday to Mo Vaughn, Major League first baseman of the Boston Red Sox, was born in Norwalk, Connecticut. 1972, Rodney Harrison, NFL safety Super Bowl champion, was born in Markham, Illinois. And happy birthday, 1987, to Josh Norman, NFL cornerback, born in Greenwood, South Carolina. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports on a chilly, frigid, frost day here at the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, compared to Dominican Republic, right?
Oh, yeah, the Dominican Republic, yes. I think I'm going to go back. I've been there twice. I might go back a third time. It was so cold out back here in Charlotte last week, like a week and a half ago. I was in 85-degree weather, sweating.
Wow. You've been there, right?
Yes, I've been there before, yes.
Yeah.
It was a last-second trip that we had to take, and we had to take it before we lose that vacation. So we ended up going, and we enjoyed ourselves. It was really nice.
I want to get a discussion about, in your early report, you talked about the banning of the double headers.
Yeah.
I think they should bring back scheduled double headers for the prices that they charge to get into the stadiums. You want to get your money worth.
But that's why they're not doing it, because they want to separate each game so they can make more money. Now, sometimes they have to have a doubleheader in case if there's a rainout where they got to make up the game.
Yeah.
They're not going to schedule doubleheaders anymore where you could, as Ernie Banks says, let's go to the ballpark and let's play two, Those days are long gone,
Yeah, they are long gone. And the mindset of it all, I remember as a kid growing up, and the seats were cheaper back then, but we got scheduled double headers. Yeah. And I used to enjoy them. And you didn't pay a lot of money to get into the stadium, but what's the price, let's say, of a box seat, which I enjoy. I enjoy box seats. The price of a box seat is almost like $900, right? Close to it.
It really depends on who's the opponent coming into town. If it's the Dodgers or some kind of top team, they're going to hike up the price, just like in football. The Dallas Cowboys played in Charlotte a couple of weeks ago. I tried to go to that game. It was on November 19th, I think it was. And starting price was amazing for the high seats, with like $450 and up, $450 and up. So you can imagine what the lower seats were, or at the 50-yard line. It all depends on what team is coming into town. Sometimes people give away their free tickets if they're not going to go to a game play like against a low budget team or a bad team that has a lousy record, they're not going to go. Same thing with baseball. You see how many empty seats have you seen over the years when a bad team come into your stadium to play, but when a good team comes in, oh, that's when they packed it in. Yeah, that's when the seats are packed. So it varies.
Even the noseblood team, the noseblood seats, I should say, are high.
Yeah. They're not that high, but they're high enough than it was before. I mean, those are the true fans. I know people that actually buy tickets for those seats because those are the true fans, where they just rip off their shirts and start drinking beer. After a certain time, after the seventh inning, they close the beer, and no more beers being sold. But those are the true fans that sit up in those bleachers in the nosebleed. Yeah. So those days are different now.
I got to be honest with you. I haven't been to a baseball game in years, and
Yeah.
prices are just too enormous. Just too enormous. I don't know what to say. Maybe one of these days I will. I hate to say this, but I've never been to the new Yankee Stadium. I've never been to Citi Field.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go to Citi Field next year. Now that I'm living in Charlotte to see the Giants play, but we'll see. Depends on my schedule.
Yeah, eventually I'm going to go. Eventually, you never want for nothing. Mom used to always tell us that. Never want for nothing, and one of these days I will, because I don't want to leave the earth without going to Yankee Stadium. My team. I got to Yankee Stadium. I've been to the old Yankee Stadium 1,000 times, but I've never been to the new Yankee Stadium. So,
yes, I agree.
All right, so you're set for the weekend. How are those lights? How do they work? Battery operated, or are you plugged in?
No, I'm not plugged in.
I don't want you to get.
I wouldn't be talking to you if I was plugged in.
And you're standing in a puddle of water too? No, I don't think so.
No. I'm in my classroom where the kiddies are coming in soon. They're gonna say, "Hi, Mr. Camp," and I'm gonna have a little celebration here for the holidays. So might have something. Might have a little pizza party later on. Let's see what happens.
One of these days, I welcome this if you like to do it. One of these days, if you want, if you have the time, and if you could schedule it with the staff over there, have the kids there with you while you're doing your sports, and they could be behind you, and that's up to you.
That's a possibility. Yeah, that's a possibility. I might just do that.
I'm pretty sure they would like that, and I'll get a chance to meet them too, and I could say, "Hi, guys,"
and give them a little prep talk about education. Yeah,
absolutely. That'd be great. Okay, Brian, we're going to catch you back here on next week on the Talk Back Live, and hopefully too on the coffee hour. And you have a great weekend, and enjoy your whole weekend. We'll see you then.
See you then. Watch your sports. Speak to you soon.
Okay, take care. That's Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen, with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. Oh, yes, that's what he has right there. He's here every week with us. And of course, if you have any questions about sports related, anything like that, please feel free. And ask questions. You can't, he's gone now, but if you'd like to ask questions in the future while he's here live, you can do that. And he'll be glad to answer your questions. And so we'll catch him back here. Just in case you're just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. And we're going to be here until the top of the hour. My name is Frank Allan, and I'm so glad and so eager to have you guys along with us each week for the festivities. And as you already know, the weekend is coming up, and that we hope that you do enjoy it. In entertainment, actor Ryan O'Neal, who went from TV soap opera to an Oscar-nominated role in Love Story, and delivered a wry performance opposite his 9-year-old daughter, Tatum O'Neal, on Paper Moon, died Friday. Cause of death was not given, but Ryan O'Neal was diagnosed with prostate cancer in 2012, and that was a decade after he was diagnosed with chronic leukemia. He was 82. Jack Hogan, a retired actor who starred in the World War II drama series Combat from 1962 until 1967, died of natural causes at his home in Bainbridge Island, Washington. Hogan made his on-screen debut as an uncredited role in the 1956 film Man from Del Rio. He was 94 years old. Andre Brewer, the two-time Emmy-winning actor who starred in the hit television series Brooklyn Nine-Nine and also Homicide: Life on the Street, died Monday after a brief illness, and he was 61. Actress Amanda Bynes is back in the spotlight. Remember Amanda Bynes? But this time as a podcast host. Amanda Bynes and Paul Saminsky. The podcast debuts Saturday on Spotify. Yeah, that's what it is today. The kids know how to pronounce that. Spotify. A co-host Bynes' best friend, biochemist and PhD student Paul Saminsky, and the duo interviewed the tattoo artist Delia Moth, who met the actress at a Spirit Halloween store a few years prior. And gold is the color best typically associated with award shows. And this year, award season, however, is being dominated by Barbie Pink. Barbie is big on the screen these days. Since its theatrical debut in July, the film has reeled over $1.3 billion in revenue, as well as worldwide acclaim. It, in addition to topping the box office, it became the highest grossing film, and Barbie has also received critical acclaim. And finally, Katy Perry's mother is ramping up her involvement in conservative politics after formally declaring her candidacy for the seat in her local Republican Party Central Committee. On Veterans Day, Mary Hudson, that's the mother, was spotted in a local area in her town in California, gathering signatures to qualify for the 2024 ballot. And the Pentecostal preacher, that's what she is, he's a Pentecostal pastor, has joined forces by Adam McKay. He was the founder of a nonprofit organization called Adam Angels. And that's it in entertainment. And speaking of entertainment, you know, I already said that we are now celebrating, and this show is dedicated to my mentor, Allan Freed. Allan Freed, the legendary disc jockey, was born in 1921, and we're celebrating and remembering him on this day. And so I have a guest here with me, and she was one of the original dancers, because Allan Freed had a show called The Big Beat Show. The Big Beat Show aired on WNEW in New York City. That's right here. It was Channel 5. It's now WNYW, I think it is now. Those are the call it is now. But I want to welcome, and I was looking forward to this day, I want to welcome one of the original dancers. She's also an actress. Her name is Whitney. Whitney, good morning to you.
Good morning. Nice to see you. And I'm happy I got with the technology.
We spend a lot of time on that, huh?
That's right. It worked out beautifully, though.
It was just like having a long lunch together.
I know. It was great. We should.
We will. As a matter. Whitney, you were the original dancers. You knew Allan Freed. You were there, and the reason why I called you is because you have so much knowledge about this back in that day. And as I said, he had that show called The Big Beat Show, and you were one of the original dancers. Tell me how that happened. Back in the old days.
You know something? It was, obviously it was decades ago, and my recollection is that I would always watch it on television. And then one day I just decided to go down and dance, and or to see if I could get on or what the story was. So I had gone down there, and you wait outside the door, and they picked people to go in, and they picked me. And so then I started to go down regularly, and they always picked me. And before you know it, I was just allowed to walk in. And, whenever I showed up, I danced. And I think I went almost every day. I just loved it. And I remember, sitting down doing my homework one day, watching the show, and my mother said, "Oh, this rock and roll is going to be your ruination." But it was the best time of my life. This is the only occasion that I could say she was wrong.
Wow.
It was not my ruination. It was the best.
I guess you were one of the lucky ones to get picked every day and then eventually walk into the studios that way. You actually went back to the studios not long ago, because I saw there's a video out that I saw in Channel 5, as a matter of fact, where the show was being broadcast. You went to the original studio. I researched it again. It was Studio One.
Okay. It was, I was on the main floor. Something they had asked me, did you have to go into an elevator? Because they weren't really sure if it was Studio One. And to my recollection, we just walked in. I don't remember going into an elevator, but who knows? It's not my memory of it.
That's amazing. And so tell us the story. I mean, you had a lot of stories to tell. We only have a few, minutes on the show, but and then maybe one day we can get you back here and we'll do it all over again. But tell us your memories, your fond memories of Allan Freed, because he was one of my favorites. He was my inspiration, and that's how I got into radio, through him.
Well, you couldn't be more correct. He was an amazing man. We thought of him, really, he was a father figure to us. And he never treated us otherwise. He was always very protective, because there were maybe, I'm trying to think, about 5 young girls that were kind of allowed to hang around him, or did hang around him. And he would take us to his, or he wouldn't take us, but we would show up at his radio show and just sit and listen and go on and dance. And then, of course, the best part of it is that we were allowed to go backstage to the rock and roll shows at the Fox and at the Paramount. And that was simply amazing for someone that was 14 years old. It's like to meet all your idols, because back then you just didn't have one band. You had several bands on stage, and they were backstage, and they were people. You just got to hang around and chill, and they'd ask you how you are, and and after a while, it wasn't so like shocking. It was natural. Mm-hmm. And I bring my brother backstage because he really loved Bo Diddley, and he got to talk to Bo Diddley and speak to him about his amplifier. And my brother's 6 years older, so I was pretty proud to do that for him, because he was thrilled. Mm. So that was, just to be around in that environment. Yeah. TV show, the going to the radio show, going backstage and meeting Dion and meeting Jimmy Beaumont and the Skyliners and Jimmy Clanton, which he probably wouldn't remember me from a hole in the wall. Mm-hmm. But and Bobby Darin and I, not Bobby Darin, sorry, I didn't meet him, but he had gone backstage once because he was going out with Joanne Campbell, with this cute little blonde singer. Yeah. And then we were all devastated because he left her for Sandra Dee. It was like, no, this is too shocking. So that was kind of what it was. And I never thought anything of it. I would go to high school every day, obviously, and I never discussed that time or that part of my life. It just, I don't know why I didn't. It was just there, and I lived it. Wow. But it was great. I still think it's great.
You don't get those days anymore. They're all gone. The Allan Freed fiasco about the payola and all of that. I remember the big story, because I remember when he left the air on WNEW, not WNEW. That's a channel. It's Channel 5 or WINS, Wins 1010. Right. And he did his last show because the station had fired him. And there's a photo of you and a few other teenagers around him, gathered around him. This is a classic photo. Everybody have seen this photo. They know it. And he was coming out of, what was that experience like? What happened? Because all of you gathered around him and he had his arm around you with a
Well, we hadn't known that was his last show. We went to dance, and then as we were and he told us, I think at the end of the show, that this would be his last show. And so we all left, and I went up to him, and and obviously I could still get teary-eyed about it. And I told him that, I can't believe that we would never see him again. And he was very concerned that I was upset. And he said that he shouldn't worry, I shouldn't worry, he'd be back, and not to worry. And that was it. I had never seen him after that. And I guess went on with my life. And it was just my past.
Yeah.
And lately it became my present, and now my future. Someone said to me, do you realize that, you were part of rock and roll history? And it had never entered my mind. All I could think about was, those were the best years of my life. They really were back then.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing, that was an amazing story. But eventually, Allan Freed did go on to move on to other cities and work. But
Yeah.
during that time when that classic photo of you and the teenagers around him, that was his last shot in New York. But he did work, and then wind up in California, where he unfortunately passed away at the age of 43 years old. It must have been some good times. I mean, I really wish I was there. My parents got to meet him. I didn't.
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah, my hero, and I didn't get a chance to meet him. I didn't get a chance. What do you think, Allan Freed, if he were here today and he see what he sees here, how music is going, what do you think he would say today?
Oh, I don't know. Well, don't forget, I guess he had a history in jazz, and then he went to rock and roll. And now with all, the hip hop and everything else going on, I think he would have just gone with it and loved it, because he was very open to, everything. And I think he would have accepted it and moved on with it.
Mm.
But there's nothing like rock and roll. Bob Seger says, give me that old fashioned rock and roll. No disco, no nothing else. And that's the truth. That's why there's so many oldie stations on. People are still into, the old time rock and roll. Even the young ones today, even the young kids, they're into it still.
Wow. That's an interesting theory, because, a lot of people do criticize this music of today.
Yeah.
And they just move on. But that's interesting that you say that. And you think that would be his attitude, just to accept it and live and let live. That's.
Oh, when you watched interviews with him about the scandal back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
His attitude was that. In other words, he was accepting of what it was, and he didn't try to fight it or anything. He just kind of went with it. And I think that was who he was. He just went with it.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. But there are a lot of documentaries out there that you could see. A lot of people can watch on YouTube. There's a lot of material out there in case a lot of people who are watching today want to know more about Allan Freed. There's a lot of information out there. This is a man that at least you and I are not going to let him die. He's not here with us physically, but we're going to let his legacy go away because it's very important to this culture. It really is. And that music, he gathered a lot of people together. And when you look at that video that floated around with you dancing out there, dancing, I reviewed the video last night. That was like interracial. That was never done before.
Well, but you want to know something? There's two videos out, and there's one in particular that I saw a lot of Black dancers.
Mhm.
And back in the day, that wasn't a prominent thing in my eyes. In other words, I was surprised when I saw the video
Mhm.
and saw so many Black dancers because we didn't consider anyone different. We just were one young kids dancing. And then I said, wow, there was a lot of Black kids dancing. But back then, we didn't think that way.
Yeah.
We were just kids dancing.
Yeah, and we thought we had problems then compared to today. We thought we had problems back then, but we didn't have anything compared to today.
Oh, no, for sure. And, and of course, Allan treated everyone equally. And maybe that had a lot to do with it. I was born, I was born in Bed-Stuy and I was raised in Bushwick.
Mhm.
And color wasn't an issue, until I got older and I realized, oh yeah, I guess for some it is, but it was never an issue in my family. And I come from Italian immigrants and it was never an issue. And it still isn't for me, but I realized it's hard times. And even now when you think it shouldn't be.
Yeah, wow.
It is, yeah.
It's the legacy of Allan Freed. Whitney, we're gonna have to do this again. Maybe do another show on a more lengthening of a time. But I really enjoyed this time with you. We've got to talk more about this.
Oh, so did I. I've always loved everything Allan, and I still continue to love it, and I always will. And I appreciate the opportunity you gave me to reminisce and talk about someone that I cared about.
Don't worry, it's not over. Just like Allan said, it's not goodbye.
It's not goodbye.
It's just good night.
It's just good night. You see, that makes me get tears. Okay, thank you.
Baby, take care of yourself.
All right.
Oh, she's wonderful. I was anxious to do an interview with her, Whitney Devlin, one of the original dancers on the Allan Freed Big Beat show. That was wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us, Whitney, and thank all of you for joining us. The name of the show is called The Coffee Hour, and we're going to be with you for the remaining of the hour. But we still got things to cover up right now. We want to talk about the movies, but before we do, birthdays today. Dave Clark 5 is 84 today, of the Dave Clark 5. Dave Clark of the Dave Clark 5. R&B singer Cindy Birdsong from the Supremes and Patti LaBelle and the Bluebell is 84. Jazz artist Eddie Palmieri is 87. The late Tim Conway, comedian, he would have been 90. Jesse Belvin, R&B singer, would have been 91. Jazz trombonist Curtis Fuller would have been 91. And as we talked about, radio disc jockey Allan Freed would have been 102. Jazz pianist Stan Kenton would have been 112. And talent scout promoter John Hammond would have been 113 years old. And those of you who are interested in those movies, we do have them for you. They're classic, Turner Classic movies that I picked for the entire week for your weekend. And of course, we want to just give you those right quick. Coming up this weekend, we have Meet Me in St. Louis, 1944 with Judy Garland and Margaret O'Brien on Turner Classic Movies at Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern. And there's another classic called The Shop Around the Corner, 1940, a black and white comedy. It's Margaret Sullivan and James Stewart, Turner Classic Movies. It's at 4:15 p.m. Eastern. Everything I give you is Eastern. King of Kings is a biblical. Since it's the Christmas season, 1961, Jeffrey Hunter and Sobhan McKenna and Robert Ryan. That's on Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Another biblical program called The Greatest Story Ever Told from 1965, starring Max von Sydow and Charles Heston, along with Carol Baker. Sidney Poitier has an unspeaking part in that movie too. And that's on Turner Classic Movies Sunday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. And finally, The Color Purple, 1985, Whoopi Goldberg Danny Glover and Margaret Avery. Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. I hope you enjoy all of these movies. You can go on Turner Classic Movies and go through the program guide and check out others that may be available that I didn't mention, not because I don't like them, it's because these are my picks of the week. And I hope you get a chance to watch them. A lot of great documentaries, children program, and sporting events. It's all for you. And that's all for me, ladies and gentlemen, because now my weekend is officially underway. I am going to be back here next Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern for the Talk Back Live. And Brian Camp will be with me with sports. I hope you will be here too. Other than that, join me back here on next Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern for more of the coffee hour. Brian Camp with sports, and you and me and the rest of the world will be here too. So ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your weekend. I hope you do that and have a great day and have a great one. And stay out of trouble, all right? And stay healthy and stay strong. And we love you, and we will see you back here pretty soon. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.
You've been watching The Coffee Hour with your host Frank Allan. The producer has been Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on The Coffee Hour.